Welcome back to my channel. My name is Aparna, personal trainer and nutritionist who helps women lose fat, lose weight without doing high intensity exercises or extreme dieting. So like you saw in the start of the video, I bet so many of you skip breakfast when you're trying to lose weight. And the most important question is eating breakfast better for weight loss or skipping breakfast better for weight loss? I am going to tackle that entire topic today, and I will also talk a little bit about overeating because breakfast is the most easiest meal to skip when you're trying to lose weight, especially because most of us are busy with work or have to take care of somebody else, so we do not have time to prepare breakfast. We do not have the energy, and we honestly do not have time to even eat it, right? So why is this important? Guys, I will tell you, I come with a history of disordered eating, and I used to be a person who used to keep pushing my meal timings, skip my meals, and then end up eating one huge meal that I would eat so fast, I would not make the right food choices, and then I would just end up feeling so bloated and guilty, and then I would tell myself, hey, you know what, I'll start my diet from tomorrow again. And this becomes a vicious cycle. You develop a bad relationship with food, and you have body image issues, and you never lose or see the results that you want to, because I never lost the belly fat and my love handles because of that, right? And that was something I wanted to do, even though I knew that spot reduction was not possible. That was a long-term goal of mine, but it never happened. So today I will take you through why or whether you should eat breakfast or not. And through experiences, I dealt with all of these problems and coined it in what I call the MMIND NUTRITION MODel, which stands for mindfulness, moderation, intuitive eating, nutritional competencies, and the diet mentality. And today I'm going to take you through a part of the mindfulness factor. And so we will start with whether skipping or eating breakfast is good for weight loss or not. So now let's talk about whether you should eat breakfast or not. So now I know the internet says that eating breakfast is good for your metabolism, speeds up your metabolism in the morning, helps you lose weight. Whereas others say skipping breakfast is an easy way to cut down calories, and so you will lose weight. Well, what is right? Now, theoretically, the only thing that is right is, yes, you do need to consume lesser food than you burn in order to lose weight. And that's calorie deficit, there's no roundabout. You can do this without counting calories, but that is the proven method to lose weight. But how does breakfast play into this? So the fact aside that breakfast increases your metabolism, or eating breakfast, skipping breakfast is the best way to lose weight, what happens when you skip breakfast? Psychologically, you tend to eat more later on in the day. Why? Because when you skip breakfast, you're pushing your meal timings to later in the day. And by the time lunch comes, you are so extremely hungry that you end up eating too fast, number one. Number two, you end up overeating. That is, you don't know how much food you need. So you end up overeating and you feel bloated and feel too full after that. And you also feel bloated because when you eat too fast, you take in a lot of air. Number three, psychologically, mentally, you overeat because you tell yourself that you've skipped one meal, so it is okay to eat a little bit more now. You're basically compensating for that one meal in the second meal. So you're basically eating two meals in one. And number four, your food choices do not matter. They take a backseat. Because when you're so extremely hungry, you're not going to be worried about whether you're eating junk food like processed sugars, processed oils, or whether you're eating a salad or healthy foods or even noodles or whatever it is, right? You're not going to be worried about what you're eating because you just want food to satisfy your hunger. And that is where the problem comes, because when you're so extremely hungry, you have no mental bandwidth to think whether you're making the right food choices. And most of the time, that is the main problem in you losing weight, because this is an obstacle that people find very hard to overcome. So technically, yes, it is better to eat breakfast, because then you will not be overeating during lunch or even in the evening trying to compensate for it. And it's not only with breakfast, it's with any meal. Anytime you skip a meal or leave a huge gap between meals, you're going to try and compensate for the skipped meal, or you are going to overeat because you're so extremely hungry by that time that you will not be able to be in tune with your body signals and know how much food your body actually needs at that point, right? So how do you overcome this if you're not someone who, if you are someone who does not eat breakfast? Well, the first thing is you need to work up an appetite, right? So your body is not just going to get up one day and be like, yeah, you know what, I can eat breakfast, because you don't have an appetite for it. You might feel sick, you might feel too full when you start eating breakfast. So instead of getting up the next day and telling yourself, hey, you know what, I'm going to start eating a full-fledged breakfast 7 days of the week starting today, start small. Start with something very easy to make, very light options such as yogurt and berries and seeds, or overnight oats, like a smaller jar rather than a full overnight oats jar, a smaller jar. Overnight chia seed puddings, or like a miniature smoothie. Like it need not be a full smoothie, but at least like a miniature smoothie, right? Or just some fruit, cinnamon, nut butters, something like that. Just don't eat the fruit alone, because that's going to make you hungrier. But maybe fruit with a little bit of fat, try to add some protein in, or you can get in some hummus and vegetable sticks, or just like, you know, a sprout salad, or like a chickpea salad, or something very light for your stomach, so that your body starts adapting to that. And our bodies are incredible. They're amazing in adapting, because once you start it, even let's say start small, like 3 days a week. You don't need to do it 7 days. Start small 3 days of the week, so that you start getting into that routine, and your body will start adapting like that, right? Your body knows that you're trying to work up an appetite, you're trying to give it some food. So automatically, as time goes by, your body will start feeling hungry at that point for at least that light breakfast. Then once you are used to that light breakfast, you can start increasing the quantity. And yes, it is going to take time. If you're looking for a fast fix, it will not work. It is going to take time. But it is good for you, because then you start learning about your body, right? So start small, start with 3, maybe 4 days a week, or if you're already eating breakfast for 2 days, increase it to 4, like 4 or 5, and make something that is very easy to prepare, healthy options, having enough carbs, proteins, fibers, fats, all of those things, right? And when you do that, it will become a habit, it will become automated, that you won't even feel like skipping breakfast anymore, because it will reflect on meals later on in the day. Now, this is what is called being mindful, guys. So when you are being mindful, the questions to ask yourself, okay? How hungry am I right now? How much food do I need? What sort of food do I feel like eating? How balanced is my plate in terms of like proteins, fibers, vegetables, fruits, so on, right? And do I really need to eat the chocolate or the dessert or the junk food right now? Or am I eating it just because it is in front of me? Or am I eating it just because I am stressed? Or have I left a huge gap between my meals? So questions like this, I will pop it down in the description box below, but questions like this will help you stop and wonder and try and tune in with your body signals. Because when we overeat or when we eat too fast, our mind is extremely chaotic and you're not thinking about anything. So when you slow down, when you hesitate, when you take that pause, it's going to really help you figure out how your body works, how much food you need, to tune into your hunger levels. And that is the main problem, guys. We never tune into our hunger levels, because as a kid, right, if you look at kids, they never eat extra. No matter how much you try and force feed them, they're not going to eat extra, because they know they're full. So they will either spit out the food, throw a tantrum, or throw up, right? But as we grow, we eat for different reasons. Stress, boredom, occasions, happy occasions, sad occasions, parties, family gatherings, and so on and so forth. And we lose sight of how much food we actually need, which is why we end up overeating, skipping meals, binge eating, late night cravings, and all of those things. And this leads to weight gain, fat gain, and so many other health issues. So by eating breakfast, you are also more mindful of the meals that you eat later on. You are not so extremely hungry for your lunch, or even if you've skipped any other meals, then you might be extremely hungry for another meal. So when you do not skip meals and eat something small, you're not so extremely hungry, and you know how much to eat. You will tend not to overeat, not to eat too fast, and this will really help with bloating and weight loss. So to summarize, guys, yes, breakfast is good if you want to lose weight, purely because As humans, we tend to compensate for a skipped meal later on through the day, which is not the best, because we will end up overeating or not making the right food choices or not making the healthiest food choices. So make sure you are eating something small to begin with. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Start small, create the habit, so that day by day you can develop that habit and let your body get used to it. Then make sure that you are getting in some fiber, proteins and fats in your meals, so that it is still a healthy, satiating breakfast. Try not to eat only fruits or only carbs, because they might spike your insulin levels and make you feel hungrier later in the day. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope this video kind of made sense, was a little relatable and helped you guys. So if you did like this video, please give me a like, hit the subscribe button below, because every week I'm going to be releasing a video, an educational video just like this, talking about my MMIND nutrition model and how I overcame my disordered eating and how you can lose weight while not dieting. So if you did like it, subscribe so that you get notified of the future videos, and I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments on this video and your feedback, so do drop it in the comments below. Till then, I will see you next time.